Welcome to Racers Odds. I'm David Stiles. He is Andrew Kurland. And we have our second winner of the season as Ryan Blaney takes it in Phoenix. And he had to pass 49 cars on track to get that win, but he was dominating all day. And Penske actually sweeps the weekend with the IndyCar Series and the Cup Series. First time that that's ever happened for Team Penske.
I was wrong. I thought the Hendrick cars and the Gibbs cars were going to do good, and they did. Christopher Bell, I think, led the race high number of laps last weekend in Phoenix, but when it comes down to it, it's hard to beat those Penske cars, and we do have our second winner of the year in 4 races, so how about that?
Well, last week you said whoever is good at Phoenix, they're typically going to be good at Phoenix, and you mentioned Kevin Harvick. I feel like Ryan Blaney just has that place figured out, and when we go there, he is one to watch. But we are now moving to the desert part 2 as we get ready to go to Las Vegas in the bright lights of Sin City. And you'll be in a turn this week up on top of a billboard.
Yep.
So what are we looking for? What are you expecting to see as we go to our first intermediate track of the season?
You know, people were saying Phoenix was the first opportunity to see what the field has, and that was true. I mean, we saw the expected drivers rise to the top. I think this is going to be an addition to that. I think as you look, especially from a betting perspective, the range is not as wide as you would see at Daytona or Echo Park Speedway. And so I expect the traditional players to come forth and have great races. And that's in both the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series and the Cup Series this weekend.
Yes, and in looking at these odds, there's a lot of different places that you can throw money at these really good drivers, and I've been looking for value in these Spire cars, like with Michael McDowell and Daniel Suarez, and there's just not a whole lot of those bets out there that I feel like are very sharp or, you know, very comfortable for me to bet on, because you also have your rash of really good drivers, and I like these top 10 bets, and all of your really good drivers, they have all minus odds for the top 10, so it's not really enough juice
exciting,
for me to, enough juice for me to squeeze out of it. Typically, we're going to see a few drivers excel at this track. You'll see Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell's pretty good here. Joey Logano's good at this track. So we will see our normal cast of characters show up at these 1.5-mile tracks, and this is the first one of the season. I also think Chase Briscoe, who's had an abysmal start to the year, I think we'll see him kind of come back into form for this week, and he may be a major player. But let's go ahead and get into some of these bets that we're thinking about. And like I said just a few minutes ago, there's not anything that I'm just super honed in on like we have been betting on the past couple of weeks. And I'm going to keep kind of my bets this week around that 50 percentile mark. And I'm looking at a lot of matchups. I'm interested to see what you're looking at.
Well, first guy, you mentioned Chase Briscoe. I would actually stay away from him this weekend. I know he hasn't had momentum, and he could certainly bounce back by at least finishing the race.
Yes.
And that would be the goal this weekend. But statistically speaking, this is one of his worst 1.5-mile tracks.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to bet a Joe Gibbs Racing driver, you bet Christopher Bell, who's finished second twice here and is knocking on the door of a win. He was caution and some fuel strategy away from winning when Joey Logano won back in 2024, which ultimately propelled him to the championship. That was Christopher Bell's race to win. Denny Hamlin, very good here. Won in the fall, also won in 2021. If you're looking at Joe Gibbs cars, those would be the drivers I would look at. But the guy, at least that sticks out to me, and he will on the odds as well, as Kyle Larson.
Yes.
That guy is the all-time lap leader here. He's the best driver on the long run. He's one of the best restart drivers at Las Vegas. He is just got the speed when it comes to that racetrack. So I think everyone's going to be chasing Larson this weekend, but there's definitely players that can challenge him.
Since joining Hendrick Motorsports in 2021, Kyle Larson has led 793 laps at Las Vegas.
That's the most all-time ever.
Yeah.
All-time. Not active drivers. He has led the most laps at Las Vegas ever.
He has 2 wins, 3 runner-up finishes, and has only finished outside of the top 11 once, and he finished 35th because of a crash.
Right.
He's very, 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 very good at this track. But we saw Josh Berry win this race last year in the spring, And so if you're looking for kind of a dark horse, I think you can look at him. Also, Ryan Preece is really good at this track.
You stole my dark horse.
And Austin Cindric is pretty solid at this track as well. As far as the bets go, these are the ones I'm finding value in. Like I said, I'm looking at matchups. There's a matchup on Caesars, Eric Jones versus Connor Zilic. Eric Jones plus 105, Connor Zilic minus 135. I'm going to put money on Eric Jones. He runs pretty well at Las Vegas.
He's got momentum. And he ran 10th last weekend in Phoenix.
Yeah.
So he's got speed. I don't hate that. Zilic he has a mountain in front of him with all these brand new racetracks. And he's the only rookie that is a challenge. I mean, where is he in points? He's deep in points.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing that Zilic has, and this is why the books like him so much, is he ran well at both the O'Reilly Auto Parts races last year. He finished second in October, finished top 10 in the spring at the O'Reilly race. That's why they like Zilic, but I just haven't seen enough from him to feel comfortable. You mentioned Josh Berry. Josh Berry is an interesting case. His last 4 finishes at Las Vegas, 20th, 24th, 1st, and 26th. That is an outlier win.
Yes.
It feels like. Now, he's got 2 O'Reilly Auto Parts Series wins in Las Vegas, and that is one of his better racetracks, but still, that one win is kind of a strange outlier. I don't know if I trust him this time around.
The only way that I would maybe bet on Josh Berry is in a couple of these matchups, and he's favored in the one on DraftKings against Ty Gibbs. He's minus 105. Ty Gibbs is minus 130. Ty Gibbs has been running pretty consistently lately. He has back-to-back fourth-place finishes. So, again, that's a little bit prickly for me. I don't know if I would be comfortable betting on that matchup. And then the other one is he's in a couple of different... That's going to be
actually pretty even.
Yeah.
Him and Ty Gibbs. Because Ty Gibbs, he had 1 top 5 in Vegas in 2024 and then hasn't finished better than 22nd all the other times. So he's kind of got the same statistics as Josh Berry. Josh Berry just has a win to his name.
Yeah.
But that's about it. That is actually, that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would touch it, but that's a pretty even matchup.
Like I
said, these books know what they're doing.
Yeah. And these mile and a halves, like I said, the odds on these, I'm not finding anything of value like we have found the past couple of weeks, because this is the bread and butter of what the Cup Series is, these mile and a half intermediate tracks. Mm-hmm. And so we're seeing this reflected in what a lot of the odds are. So again, another matchup that I'm looking at, Ross Chastain versus Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott's actually the favored driver in this matchup at minus 120, Ross Chastain at minus 110. Ross runs really well here, and I'm going to put money on him at minus 110.
He won a mile and a half last year, the Coca-Cola 600, so you can't bet against somebody like Ross Chastain. Chase Elliott, he's got the consistent speed, but we'll just have to see if Trackhouse can bring it. I don't normally do the group stuff.
Yeah.
There is one group bet that actually would be enticing for bettors out there, and you mentioned Ryan Preece. He's my dark horse. His last 4 races were 9th, 3rd, then 2 years ago, 22nd and 23rd. This guy is getting better at the mile and a halves, and it's not just Vegas where we're seeing an improvement in performance for Ryan Preece. He is plus 260 to top 10. He's plus 300 to win Group D over Hocevar and Busch. I like that. He is plus 1,500 to top 3 if you're really believing in Ryan Preece. One of those, at least to me, is enticing, but I'll take a plus 300 for Ryan Preece. I'll put 10 Monopoly dollars on that.
Yeah, I would just caution against betting on him in that group, because Alex Bowman is in that group, so we may actually see...
Oh, was he? He wasn't listed when I looked.
So there's one on DraftKings where it's Carson Hocevar, Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman, and Ryan Preece in that group. They may actually...
I think they took him off.
They may actually take Bowman out of that.
I didn't see him. There were only 3 guys on there.
So that's just something to watch. Alex Bowman's still out of the race car. Justin Allgaier will replace him in the 48 car this weekend at Vegas. And so just be notable of that if you see him somewhere, that they may pull that bet or it may change.
I do want to say something about Allgaier. great choice. Obviously, we want Alex Bowman to get better, and Vertigo is not fun to deal with. But if there's one guy you put in your Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet in Las Vegas, it's Justin Allgaier. He hasn't raced there in the Cup Series since 2015, but he is darn good there in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. I think it's actually his best mile-and-a-half track. Yeah. He won there last year, and I will do something interesting. We have not touched any O'Reilly Auto Parts Series bets.
Oh, here we go.
But I'll put 10 Monopoly dollars plus 600. Justin Allgaier wins that race, the LiUNA.
That's actually a really good bet, and I like Allgaier. Yeah. He's currently the points leader in that series.
Now, he's got competition.
He does.
He has Zilich and Kyle Larson in that race. He's the third highest driver in terms of odds to win that race behind those two. But I like his speed. I really do.
If you're going to pick an O'Reilly driver for that race, I think that he's the one to pick. My next matchup, Daniel Suarez versus Carson Hocevar. Daniel Suarez is actually the underdog in this at plus 145. Hocevar favored at minus 195. I'm going to put money on Suarez. He runs fairly decently at this track. He's been pretty consistent on mile and a half. And to me, I think Spire has a lot of momentum. McDowell actually won the pole for this race last season in the spring. So I think these cars are going in the right direction. Hocevar is just a little bit too aggressive for me, and I think Suarez will be able to take care of his equipment.
Hocevar at Las Vegas, he finished outside the top 30 both races last year.
Yep.
So, and Suarez was the best, not the best Spire car at the start of the Phoenix race, the best Chevrolet.
Yes.
And so I like his speed. He got caught up in some incidents, and then he really wasn't a player. But I feel like if you were paying attention, you recognize the speed that Daniel Suarez has at Spire Motorsports and the resources that they're bringing to him. I like that. I would take Suarez over Hocevar as well.
But it's interesting that they've got teammates matched up together. Like that, to me, is a little, but I like Suarez at this racetrack. Finished second last year in the spring behind Josh Berry.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm throwing money at him. And
it's a good note.
I like Daniel Suarez. He's a lot of fun to be around. He's a really cool cat. So I just like him as a person.
I agree.
Last bet for me, Kyle Larson to win the race, plus 500. That's the best odd on the three books that we look at, DraftKings, Caesars, and BetMGM. He's just really, really good.
He really is.
And I feel like putting some money on him. So the way that I'm going to structure this, for my matchups, I'm putting $30 on each one of these matchups. Wow. And then I'm going to put $10 on Larson at plus 500. And those are my four bets for the week.
Nice.
So,
I'll do two more. I like to pick a race winner and just make it different. I'll put 10 on Bell plus 700 to win the race. And then
it's not bad.
We got to keep the streak going. $1. Tyler Reddick plus 900 to win the race.
That's not bad. I actually found it at a little bit better odd for you because I knew that you were going to do that. He's plus 1,100 on Caesars.
Give me that then. Even better.
We'll do plus 1,100 for you and bet your $1, and you'll get your $1 back and $11 and get $12. How about that if he wins?
Right. I'll take it.
So there you go. Currently, Andrew is leading the bankroll. He's riding that plus 160 win that he had for Tyler Reddick, winning at COTA. He is at $5,057 in his bankroll. So you're plus 57. Me, I've been in the 4,900s since we pretty much began. I'm at $4,947.98. So here's the interesting stat that I've just looked at from our dashboard. I have 7 bet wins.
Wow.
I have about 36% win rate.
Success rate.
So I've got 3 pushes out there right now with Keselowski to win, Busch to lose, and then Logano to win the championship. And then you've got a couple of pushes too. But as far as our bets go, I mean, we're giving you some pretty sharp bets. And if you followed along with us, you're either up a little bit or you're right around where your bankroll started. So I feel like we're doing a pretty good job of giving you some clear things to bet on in the Cup Series.
And a shout out to our friend Kevin Redfern.
Yeah.
He bet on Ryan Blaney and won big. And so, just not outside of the two of us, Kevin, who's a friend of Racer's Odds, also did well. We'll have to find a way to get him back on the show soon.
Have to get him back on pretty soon. So now let's move to Pick'em. Andrew is up 28 points on me. He has 74. I have 46. Herbst scored you 19 points last week.
All right. I'll take that.
I got kind of...
Riley Herbst, baby.
Yeah. I got kind of not shafted, but I looked really good there for a moment. I mean, last week I had...
Who did you have again?
I had Barry. And he looked really good. And then all of a sudden it's like, nah, we're just going to wreck like 5 good cars. And I'm just one of them. And I'm like, dang. So I got 5 points. So you've got a pretty good lead.
So you go first.
Well, I'm going to swap our picks from last week. I'm picking Herbst and I feel like you're going to pick Barry.
Man, either that or I am enticed just to shake it up and to keep some people in my back pocket. I want to go Justin Allgaier. In the 48.
That's not bad because then you get to keep another. You get to keep Barry for another race.
And Allgaier is good at Vegas.
Yeah.
Like I actually could foresee him having a solid run. Anthony Alfredo, by the way, he got caught a few laps down, but when he crashed, he was running in the top 10 on the same strategy as everybody else. He showed real speed.
Yeah.
So even with backup drivers, that 48 car has solid speed. I mean, it's Hendrick Motorsports. So I'm going to pick Justin Allgaier because he's got good speed in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series, and he's just a veteran. He's got talent, and I think he can do something with that 48 car, even though he's just a fill-in.
I'm going to give you a tidbit on why this is a good idea for Andrew. When was the last time Allgaier subbed for a Hendrick car?
It was...
Larson, 600 when he was doing the double, and he didn't make it because of the rain.
He finished 13th, didn't he?
Kept that car in the top 20 all day long.
Yeah.
He has the ability to take that equipment and keep it clean. And if he does and just score some points, that's all he has to do.
That's all you're looking for.
And so I think that's actually a pretty good pick for the Pick'em game. So, yeah, we'll see if I can come back from 28 down. I may have to shake up my strategy and start, picking some different people. But like always, it's about having fun, and that's what we want to do on this show. We want to put you on some bets so that you can watch the race and it be a little bit more compelling. Me this week, I'm going with all matchups. Andrew's picking Tyler Reddick again because it's fun for him at this point. That's
$1, Tyler Reddick. It's gonna pay off again. He's gonna win another race.
Yeah, at some point. It just depends on what the odds are for you. So we're looking to put you into a position to help you grow your bankroll and to have a lot of fun. So if you're liking this content, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe wherever you're watching this, and tune in next week. We'll have some more data as we get ready to go to Darlington after Las Vegas. So thanks for stopping by Racer's Odds. For Andrew Curlin and Kent Bernhardt, I'm David Steins.